I don't know if I like this jumper. It's a bit wishy-washy.
What now?
No, I'd rather be nearer.
Oh!
No, I'd rather be nearer so I don't have to have full length of my body.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey guys! Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm joined here with my mum and we're going to be answering questions that you want to ask your mum but you don't know how to ask them or you're afraid to ask your mum. So let's get on to the video. Okay, so the first question that we have got is, how do you ask your mum for a thong? And now I get asked this all the time and I don't even understand why it's such a big deal, to be honest with you. What's your opinion on
Me?
thongs?
Well, oh no, I better not say that. Don't put that bit in. Well, I was going to say I wear them, but I don't think people want to know.
Mum wears thongs, so it was kind of easy.
No, I said don't put that bit in.
I'm putting that bit in.
I remember when my first thong went on holiday with the girls, and my friend was like, "Oh, why didn't we try a thong?" I was only 18, and I was like, "Right, yeah, okay, let's do it." So I just borrowed a pair of hers, and I wore them, and I was like, "Oh my god, I love this," and then that was it. I've worn thongs ever since. So yeah, it's not really.
We went shopping on my birthday, and there was Calvin Klein shop, and that's when I got my first thong.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to get a thong. She's like, okay, cool. Want a thong? Get a thong.
They're just pants.
I don't know. I don't
see
see it's a big deal, to be honest, because then you don't have a pant line, and I just feel like they're less revealing half the time than actual pants are. Because if you're wearing leggings or something, you can see your pants. But if you're wearing a thong, then you can't see your pants.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but how would you suggest that someone asks their mum?
So just say, I'm getting a bit older now, Mum, and I'd like something a little bit more fancy, and I don't really like wearing big pants because when I'm wearing more nicer clothes, you can see them through your clothing. So I was just wondering if I could have something that was a little bit more less off my bum, as in a thong. It doesn't have to be a real stringy one. There's lots of different variations of thongs. So you could just start, maybe your mum could just buy you maybe one that's got a thicker bit to start off with. Oh, pardon me, I've had some Coke. Oh, drank.
You're going to be doing a cracker now.
Yeah, so it's not really but to some people it is a big thing, isn't it, to have to ask their mum that. So yeah, that's how you sort of just say, really. Okay,
cool. The next question is, how do you tell your mum you've lost your virginity, and does it matter if it's before 16?
Right, so obviously all parents are different, aren't they? All mums and dads and everything. So it does depend on what sort of mum.
Age doesn't always matter though, because if you can.
I think it depends how long you've been in a relationship rather than how what age you are. I'm not saying 14, but I suppose if you've been with someone a long time, then
you're both ready.
Yeah, then there's going to become that time where you are, going to want to. And I think really, if we're being honest, parents sort of know anyway. But if you wanted to say to your mum about it, that because you want some condoms or something, then you just need to sort of just approach it as in, I've been with so-and-so for so long now, and we're taking it a little bit step further. Your mums and dads are going to know where this conversation's going to, they're not silly. So yeah, and then I think that's fine. I think it's better to be able to talk about things like that with your mums and dads than not, but everyone's different, aren't they? So yeah, I just think you've just got to approach it like that, really, and sit them down in a place that's quiet, away from maybe younger brothers and sisters or anything like that, and have a bit more of an adult, because if you're having sex, then you've got to be classed as more being growing up, so you can have a grown up conversation with your mums and dads, really.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, mate.
The next one is, how do you tell your mum you started your period? So basically, how do you ask her if you want pads or tampons?
Yeah, now this is always an embarrassing one, and some kids don't even live with just their mums. Maybe some kids have only got a dad, so that's really quite awkward, isn't it, really? And I think sometimes, someone may ask their friend's mum or something rather than their dad's. But yeah, I mean, you've just got to be honest, haven't you? If you started your period, she's going to see, or if underwear's been thrown away in the bin or something because you've been too embarrassed. And also, a mum, she had periods when she was young, so she sort of knows the age when it starts. Believe me, you know when it's about to happen. Girls become more moody, mood swings, you can see they're developing more, so that time's going to come. So I always think really it's good, not that I was prepared, but you really should start getting some.
So that was 12, mate.
Yeah, Charlie was very,
12.
very young, so I
didn't even know what a period was back then. I
No.
didn't actually know what it was. I was like, I think I've pooped myself or something.
Yeah, I know, and that's what I mean. Charlie was very young, so I wasn't prepared. But I do think that, most girls it's like 13, 14. Maybe mums start, just buy a pack of like pads in, and at least then
I was 11.
you're ready.
I was 11.
Yeah, you were 11.
I was 11.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I thought I was 12. I was
No,
11.
you
I've
were
just
11.
realised I was 11.
That's what I mean. So you were very young. So no, I wasn't prepared at all. And
11.
I remember crying because it was
11.
sad. I didn't want her to have a period at 11 years old.
11.
But yeah.
I was thought it was 12.
No.
I've just realised it was 11.
Anyway, yeah. So don't be embarrassed. At the end of the day, it's a period. Wow. It's not really, I know everyone seems to have this massive embarrassment about it, but at the end of the day, girls have to have periods, that's what happens. So yeah.
Who's it?
Do you think it's Callum?
Oh, it's a really cute dog.
Oh, is it?
Because guys, we're in isolation, mate, so everyone be out walking their doggies and go like, woof, woof.
And then our dogs go mad.
But they like it because they get to go on walks.
Yeah.
More walks now than when they were. Next question is, how do you tell your mum you've got a boyfriend/girlfriend, and if he or she is older, how do you tell her that?
Okay.
You should be like, Mum, yo, I've got a girlfriend or I've got a boyfriend and they're this old and
I think also it's like you sort of get, well, I suppose it's what sort of relationship you have with your kids anyway, but normally you sort of get a feeling that maybe...
Yeah, but if I turn around to you and I was like, I'm going out with a 21-year-old, what would you say?
Well, yeah, it'd be a bit like weird, wouldn't it? Why would a 21-year-old want to go with a 16-year-old girl?
Look at me.
Then yeah, I would think it was a bit weird. But I don't know. Once again, boys are always a little bit less, mature than
you don't know till it
girls.
happens.
Yeah, like this
Wait, when I
boy-
told you I was going out with an 18-year-old, what did you think?
It didn't really bother me, but then that's because I went out with a 19-year-old when I was 15. So it didn't bother me because I was like, well, no, it didn't bother me. I don't really think about the age as much. It's more about the person and if they're bad or things like that more than an age group. I know other people think it's weird that a boy would want to go with a younger girl anyway. That's all a bit weird, but I don't think 18, 16 or 18 and 15 or... Yeah, I just think you just need to hopefully have a nice, honest relationship with your parents and just say, oh, by the way, this is going to be my boyfriend. Most people know because you started to talk more about that person or your girlfriend or,
Yeah, but
you
some people
started
don't talk about it just because I do.
Well, yeah, but I think a lot of people, well, no, I don't know because I don't really know loads of kids, but obviously with Charlie, I always know when she's about to get a boyfriend because she starts talking about that person and talks about them a lot and then FaceTime and then, and you get to hear that person's voice and, within time, that's probably going to end up being her boyfriend. So that's how I know. But yeah, I mean, if a kid is embarrassed about, saying to their mum and dads, they're soon going to know, aren't they, when
Don't
you're
you
with
put
them.
chicken in? It's 5. Dinner's at 6.
10 past.
Okay.
So yeah, get this out quick.
The next question is, how do I tell my mum about my mental health?
Right, well, that's a tricky one, isn't it? Because it depends what sort of mental health it is. There's lots of different mental healths. Sometimes it's obvious, just by how people are, that they're suffering. And then sometimes it isn't obvious because some people hide it very well. So it's a difficult one, and I think it's an embarrassment sometimes for some people to have to admit that they've got some sort of mental health. But I think in this day and age, we just need to be a little bit more honest. Doesn't everyone have a little bit anyway? Life's hard, especially at the moment. I mean, mental health is going to be a massive thing amongst young kids and adults at this time with worry, anxious, all different things. And I think, once again, if you can talk to your mum and dad and how you feel, I think it's good. It's good to talk. But, you know, every parent's different, aren't they? Some,
Yeah.
you know, and I do know that it can be an embarrassing subject to talk about, but I just
Let's
think
get help
it's...
before it's too late.
Well, yeah, I just think it's, you know, if you can try and be honest about it and just say, or even, you know, just say to your mum and dad, I don't feel very happy at the moment about things. You know, you don't even have to say it's mental health. You can just say, I don't feel very happy at the moment. You know, and you may find your mum and dad may not be feeling that happy at the moment, and maybe they've gone through things themselves as time's gone on. So, yeah, it's all about talking, you know, and I think mental health's a massive big thing, but as I'm not a therapist, I don't want to say too much about it because, you know, it's not my profession to say. But yeah, just try and talk if you can, really.
The next question is, how do you tell your mum you've tried your first fag? Because a lot of people try fags, right?
Yeah, and I think, I mean, not everyone does try a fag.
Most people.
But I do think most people in life will try one fag. Maybe because they've had a drink, maybe peer pressure. I think, and to be honest, I don't actually think you need to tell your mum and dad if you've tried a cigarette. I don't really think it's something you need to have to tell your mum and dad. They may smell it, you know, they're not stupid. They may smell it as you came in anyway, but I don't, unless you're feeling so bad that you feel you have to say to your mum and dad, oh, I've tried a cigarette, or just because you've got that really open relationship and you like to say those things. And I don't really feel that you need to say it to your mum and dad because, to be honest, they've probably done it as well. So, but yeah, I just think, once again, if you want to tell them, but if not, doesn't really matter, does it?
The next question is, how do you tell your mum you think you're gaining an eating disorder?
Oh, now that's a really tricky one, isn't it? And I don't want to go into it too much because, like, I'm not a therapist. Once again, on mental health and eating disorders and things like that are very tricky subjects that someone could be watching who's got that at the moment, and I wouldn't want to be saying things, you know, that you may think are out of order or something. But if you live with your children, which most parents do, but obviously there may be one who lives with their mum or whatever, but anyway, you're probably going to notice over time that your child has got an eating disorder because of the weight that they'll lose. So once again, I think it would be something that you don't need to be afraid to tell your mum and dad because they're probably going to notice it. But once again, I also feel you should be able, you know, try and say, you know, I feel, you know, we all go around going, oh, I feel fat, I feel, you know, I shouldn't have eaten that bit of chocolate and, you know, things like that. But, you know, an eating disorder is completely different to that anyway. And I just think that it's nice if you could be honest with your parents and say that you're, you know, I'm not coping very well with eating, I feel fat once I've eaten, you know, and I'm being sick after eating or things like that. Then yeah, it's good to say. But if you feel like you can't say to your mum or your dad, then you could always try and phone someone and discuss it with them or a close friend, try and get some help somewhere else. But yeah, you know, once again, try not to be too scared. Your mum and dad aren't going to be telling you off for having it or anything like that. They'll just want to help you.
The last question that we got to do is, how do you tell your mum you've got an STD?
Okay. Well, once again, a bit of an embarrassing subject, isn't it, having to say, because once it means you've had sex, which obviously you don't want your mum and dad to know. So it's like, so now I've gone and caught something. Oh, gross. But first of all, safe sex, okay? Condom. Very simple. I worked in a sexual health clinic. I see the consequences of no condoms. Okay, so it should be condoms. But if you're in a long-term relationship and say you want to get pregnant or things like that, and then maybe partner's cheated on you and then you've gone and caught something, or, you know, it's very, very common to catch a sexual disease. Very, very common. And once again, if you don't want to go and tell your mum and dad, because it is a bit embarrassing, then just get yourself booked into the sexual health clinic and get yourself sorted. That's all. You don't have to tell your mum and dad. It's confidential. Your mum and dad never need to know if you have an STD. If you haven't got that sort of relationship where you can just be honest with your mum and dad about it, because it's embarrassing or whatever, just go and get yourself into the doctors or the sexual health clinics and just get yourself sorted. Because otherwise it can lead on to other things, infertility, not being able to, have babies.
And then you're going to spread it.
Yeah, and then you may spread it. So, yeah, just get yourself. But, yeah, it's a very embarrassing and awkward thing to have to ask, say to your mum and dad. But, yeah, once again, just if you can't, then just go somewhere else and get some help. Stay safe.
Stay safe, kids. I just spat. Okay, that's
it?
Corona, and that is all the questions.
Well, that wasn't too bad, was it? I mean, at the end of the day, all you've got to remember is your mum and dad were young too. So all the things that you may be scared of telling them or asking them, they've probably been and done it all already. Isn't it?
Just me.
So don't be scared of your mum and dad. Because we're human.
Human.
Okay, and we're all in this together.
Okay, so thank you for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, and comment down below any videos you can see. Because obviously, actually, probably DM me on Instagram because my comments are never on.
No,
they don't work.
Never
So DM me video suggestions on Instagram. It's _Charlie Bauer. So then I'll be uploading more videos so you can watch them when you're bored, stuck indoors in isolation. And remember to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already because I'm trying to grow this channel. And yes, so thank you for watching. Bye.